I imagine that the rise of the popular TV show Orange is the New Black inspired a fascination with the world of female prisons for many of us. However, the show only scratches the surface of the true reality behind bars. While male prisons often steal the spotlight when it comes to hardship and terror, the belief that female prisons offer an easier experience is far from accurate. In fact, female prisons can be equally, if not more, horrifying than their male counterparts. Today, these women's prisons are housing some of the world's most dangerous offenders, and certain female prisons have become notorious for their truly chilling atmospheres. From harvesting organs, selling female inmates as sex slaves, to leaving deceased prisoners rotting out in the open. Let's dive deeper as we explore some of the most spine-chilling female prisons where no one comes out the same. Pedrinhas Prison Complex, one of the most violent prisons in Brazil. Women here are treated in exactly the same way as men in prisons, but also the female inmates have to quickly learn to adapt to having no toilet paper, no sanitary towels, no smear tests, let alone prenatal care. In addition to a lack of respect for human rights and having their dignity completely stripped away, one of the huge struggles of female prisoners in Brazil is hygiene. Many women use bread as tampons. Let that sink in for a second. No pun intended. Safety there is a lucid dream, and here is the sickest part. The guards allegedly place bets on the death toll. This prison hellhole is a morbid lottery where the jackpot is your survival. In 2013, nearly 60 inmates were killed within the complex, including 3 who were beheaded during rioting. Much of the violence took place due to broken cells, allowing inmates and gang rivals to mix in the patios and open spaces of the complex.
Wow.
Now, let's visit Central Asia for a moment. Uzbekistan may not be widely known, but this Central Asian country is home to one of the most oppressive and brutal regimes that ever existed. The government of Uzbekistan has a long history of committing horrifying human rights abuses against its citizens, so you can imagine the prison system is just like that, but on steroids. Located on the outskirts of the capital city, Tashkent, a chemical plant next to the complex conveniently adds to the quality of the air, making the women's prison a very harsh place to be. Within its walls, inmates are treated like filthy animals, enduring routine abuse and torture, forced to work grueling 16-hour workdays while surviving on minimum food supply. Tragically, many become victims of sexual slavery and rape, deepening their cycle of suffering. But the mistreatment of inmates extends beyond physical abuse. The prison staff frequently abuses them mentally, so the atmosphere of fear and intimidation is ever present. On top of all that, the prison itself is plagued by persistent diseases, adding to the prisoners' already morbid circumstances. The prison's history is scarred by a tragic riot that claimed a lot of lives and left the facility in total chaos. Sadly, the situation has only worsened over time, and today, the Tashkent Women's Prison remains one of the scariest places for those locked within its walls. Okay, let's travel back to Latin America. Nicaragua's main women's prison, commonly known as La Esperanza, meaning the Hope, is located in Tipitapa, 25 kilometers from the city of Managua. The prison houses hundreds of women of all ethnic backgrounds. Despite being heavily monitored and controlled, the prison is a frightening place that scares even the toughest criminals. It's notorious for its harsh punishments, even for those who committed non-violent crimes. Violent inmates can freely hurt their fellow prisoners, and there are stories of women being stoned and even having their limbs chopped off with machetes. When prisoners die under mysterious circumstances, their bodies are simply left out to rot without any care or respect. It's a place where human life holds little or no value, and acts of violence go unchecked and unpunished.
That was intense.
Chiang Mai Women's Correctional Institution is probably one of the strangest on the list. This institution of the Thai Department of Corrections is one part prison and one part massage parlor. I'm not kidding. Located in the old city of Chiang Mai in Thailand, the female correctional institution also serves as a vocational training center that focuses on the rehabilitation of defiant women. This prison is also a popular tourist attraction, with visitors coming from all across the world. Each day, hundreds of tourist customers line up around the prison walls, waiting to get a massage from one of its inmates, as well as some coffee and snacks after the massage has been done. Crazy, right? I mean, on whose agenda is to visit a country to get a massage and a little biscuit from a female prisoner? This may not be the scariest in terms of terrifying prison conditions, but you can imagine having to give a massage to 30, 40 sweaty tourists a day.
No thanks.
Okay, now that we relaxed for a minute, let's take it up a notch and visit China. Residing in the northern province of Heilongjiang, China, Heilongjiang Women's Prison is notorious for its rough treatment of their female prisoners. The prison was hot in the news when a Chinese woman exposed how she had to take severe abuse and torture for almost 3 years. Allegedly, she was tortured due to her faith. She claimed that she was repeatedly handcuffed from behind, thrown into isolation, and beaten by prison guards as well as by other inmates. She also claimed that guards were so insistent to make her renounce her faith that they would do so by any means possible. However, this incident was the least of her worries when it was finally revealed that the prison had also been investigated for illegal organ harvesting after prisoners complained of having their blood taken from them without their consent.
Harvest their organs, sell them on the black market. Boom!
How about selling female prisoners as sex slaves? Well, that's what is apparently happening in Bangalore, India. The largest prison in the Indian state of Karnataka, Parapana Agrahara Central Prison, or just Central Prison, holds a staggering 4,400 inmates, when its capacity is only at 2,200. With this overcrowding issue, it's no surprising to see up to 9 prisoners sharing one room. Housing both men and women, the female prison is the newest of the buildings and has fewer inmates. However, it was recently revealed that a number of prison guards had been selling the female inmates to their male counterparts in order to make money. Talk about underpaid prison guards. Of course, the claims were initially denied, but it was later discovered that certain female prisoners were made to work in the kitchen area during the night, which made it easier for the guards to take them undiscovered. Thankfully, the guards were eventually investigated and a lot of them were fired. The question remains, is this heinous crime against female dignity still taking place? And the last prison hellhole on our list is none other than North Korea. I mean, just living in North Korea is a living hell. Imagine being in prison there. Obviously, a prison camp in North Korea is no delightful vacation spot. Located in Gaichon County, Pyongan-namdo Province, we have the prestigious Gaichon concentration camp. It's quite the sight, around 1,000 foot in length and an impressive wall adorned with sharp and inviting barbed wire. How picturesque. Now, don't worry, they cater to all genders here. Men and women alike get the privilege of experiencing this delightful establishment. Of course, the majority of inmates are political prisoners, but hey, in North Korea, if you even dare to sneeze next to the rules poster, you immediately become a political prisoner. But here, they like to mix things up with a sprinkle of everyday common criminals as well. It's like a diverse cocktail of unfortunate souls. But wait, there's more. The prison is also notorious for its extended sentences and horrendous living conditions. And you guessed it, prisoners rarely leave this enchanting camp alive. It's practically a retirement home for those seeking a permanent residence. And how do we know all that? Well, there was this one extraordinary female prisoner who managed to beat the odds and escape alive and reported it all. Quite the achievement, I must say.